Good morning. This is Ron Janish from andrewscourse.com, and as many of you know, I teach the course that I learned from Dr. Alan Andrews, not just from his material, but from his personal instruction to me and from the extensive computer research that I did using the course methods and with some of the very special software that I have. What we're going to discuss today is very straightforward: overcoming the difficulties of using Andrews and Babson lines. We're going to take a look at one of the aspects of this, even though there are many. Actually, if we just start with, you need to know what lines to draw when, because Andrews had a lot of lines. And so you need to know what lines to draw and when to draw the lines, and then probably most importantly is knowing when the lines are primary, secondary, and tertiary. Now what does that mean? Well, lines that are secondary and tertiary will give you information. For example, if you have what we consider an NN pattern, you would draw the lines for that, and then utilize one of those lines for your entry and exit. Okay, so one of those lines becomes a primary line, while the others still are secondary and tertiary. And you need to know what lines are used when. Why? Well, quite frankly, is you want to know this in order to know when to enter a trade and when to take profits. And sometimes those can happen at about the same time. Let's take a look at this in detail here. This is a very straightforward chart of the S&P index, and as you can see, prices here made a high in September, and Andrew simply said, well, after prices make a major pivot, you draw the median line. So you take your high, low, high, right, and you draw your median line, and then you draw your parallel. And what some people will do is they will simply draw the parallel line and falsely thinking that, well, that's where they have their stop. That can be rather risky because prices are known for going outside this parallel and then back inside again. And actually that winds up creating what we call a primary line, because that's when the really cool opportunity comes. I'll show you in a minute. And so what happens is you see the prices come down here, and as prices come down here, you have what we call an NN pattern, which automatically gives you a line to use that gives you a high probability of prices going the other way for quite some time. And you get a full understanding of this in the videos. In the first set of videos, there's several sets of videos that are sent to you to view, and you get the understanding of how this works and all that good stuff in the first set. So as you can see, prices do go up here. Well, that's very nice. And remember, I mentioned that when you have this median line parallel here, and then you have this sliding parallel, while this appears to have worked nicely as a stop, and would have worked if you were short here and then long here. If you just went short here and hoping and praying the market's going to keep on going down to make that median line, I don't think so. As you can see, they went above the parallel a second time, parallel here, and then sure enough they broke down after going through the sliding parallel. These are often an incredible trap, and that's why, for example, in the way I teach the course, is that when you draw your sliding parallel line, which is a line that's parallel to your median line and your parallel here, that you use it in order to help you know approximately when the market is likely to reverse and give you an incredible entry opportunity. And so you can see here that you had your prices breaking through here, which wound up creating unfortunate losses for many of the people that went short up here, hoping that prices would make it down to the median line and didn't get out down here and take profits or reverse. And once prices come up here again, you have what we call an NN pattern. And you have your NN pattern here, and whether you used SPX, whether you used SPY, which is the S&P index, only it's a stock that people buy and sell, uh, whether you use the Dow Jones, wonderful NN pattern, you still want to be having that in this area here. And so right about the same time that this here came in, you had this NN reversal pattern, which of course gave you a primary line, right? And so here we go, and down we go again. And once prices go below this MLH line, that's when we know things are going to go down a bit. Okay, that we're going to get some strong down pressure. And yeah, that is what happened. That's just one of the typical things that you'll find. Okay, so when you use Andrews lines, it's really, really important that you know which lines are primary, which lines are secondary, and which lines are tertiary. And I think you'll get a really good sense of that when you view the first set of videos, which come with the course, when you're looking over the median lines. When you're looking over the other lines and how to combine them, that'll be covered in the following sets of videos. So there's like 4 sets altogether, okay? Because there's over 25 videos altogether. So we want to keep it as easy as possible, and the first set will cover certain aspects and get you up and running, and then you have your other sets of videos to see. All right, so you can do that, and you can do rather well with this. And this is a very nice example here. Prices go past that H a second time and past that sliding parallel, and sure enough, see, that's why Andrews told me, he said, look, in this, just because prices break a sliding parallel doesn't mean you jump on it and reverse. As you can see, what happened with people here, some people jumped on it and reversed, and had a real unfortunate situation. Well, our course members over here saw the obvious NN pattern in the smaller median lines, and saw the SH break and reversal afterwards. Right? So this is fairly common, and so I hope this gives you a quick insight as to how you can overcome some of the difficulties of using Andrews and Babson lines. It's really not very difficult once you have an understanding of the techniques and have an understanding of which lines become primary when, and then the other lines are actually secondary, and especially, but most importantly, are the secondary ones that give you this information as to what the pattern is, what to look for. Okay, and these will actually help you know when to enter a trade and when to take profits. All right, so do ask that you go over to andrewscourse.com, click on products, and this will explain to you the course and what's in it and all that other good stuff, and we'll go from there. All right, you can order it right there. Just click on there. Okay, so I thank you for your time, and see you next time.